Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Apo, and thank you, SAFETY4SEA, for giving me an opportunity to speak today. It's really good to be present in front of all of you, and thanks to all of you for taking time today to attend this session. Thank you. Yeah, so in recent months, we have come across a few notable navigation-related incidents, and we know one of it is undergoing legal proceeding, so I won't be speaking on that. But what we know is that the ship sizes over the years have increased considerably, and so does the challenges associated with dealing with emergencies or incidents. Now, traditionally, the industry focus has always been towards developing the technical skills, and that's how the STCW was drafted. But it was mentioned in the previous panel that STCW is undergoing a comprehensive overview, and it is recognized now that beyond the technical and operational skills, we also require some soft skills to be there as well. To carry out any operation safely and without any incident, we have to have the technical, operational, and the soft skill. So today in my presentation, what I'm going to look into is the critical interplay between the navigational safety and the behavioral competencies or the soft skills, right? So without further ado, let's move on, and let me share a case study with you, an incident that happened sometime in 2010 involving a 13,900 TEU container vessel. While coming alongside at the port of Busan, the ship's bow contacted 3 gantry cranes. Let's have a look into it. Sorry. Can we play this video, please? Okay. Okay, you can stop the video now. So I guess you got the idea, and this happened in 2010, like I mentioned. But the navigational incidents are not only limited to container ships or contacting just the cranes as such. I mean, navigational claims involve other type of ships as well, bulk carriers, tankers, and other ship types. And it goes basically, I mean, it involves collisions, allisions. We call incidents like these FFO incidents, fixed and floating object incidents, and groundings. They could be as a result of these navigational incidents. They could be consequential liabilities like oil spill, crew injuries, GA, general average, or cargo liabilities. So from a club's experience, even though these incidents do not happen by number that frequently as compared to people-related claims or cargo-related claims, but when they do happen, the quantum of such claims are quite high. If you can see in the slide over here, this incident costed around $91 million, of which the damage to 3 claims was around 30 million, and 61 million was the cost involved with the port interruption. The root cause analysis found out that the angle of approach as well as the speed of approach was quite excessive. There was a complete bridge team failure. The pilot was on board, but there was some communication related errors over there. Bridge team pilots should have been integrated into the bridge team, but then they underestimated the effect of ships being in ballast. The propeller was, if you would have noticed, the propeller was partly submerged, which limited the maneuverability. So all these aspects were kind of disregarded. And that's what resulted in a claim of this sort. And these sort of claims keep on happening, even though not that frequently, but they are quite expensive. And following this incident, actually, the International Group of P&I Club submitted a list of recommendations to the Busan port authorities. But to our knowledge, none of them have still been enforced. And our experience is not, this is not a one-off incident. It's not a unique one, because these sort of incidents do happen. In fact, in 2019, the International Group of P&I Clubs looked into, in detail, the number of navigation incidents that happen with pilot on board. And what we found out that over a course of 20 years from 1999 to 2019, there were 1,046 incidents, which turns out to be on an average 52 incidents per year involving pilot on board navigation incidents. And the average cost of it came around to $1.74 million, with total cost of $1.82 billion over a 20-year period. Now, if you look into the inflationary value of the claims, in the last year, in 2019, the average cost of the claim came around to 4.9 million. That means the claims are getting expensive as the year passed by. And it is for this reason that the International Group of P&I Clubs decided that we should not be waiting for 20-year period to accumulate a data of this sort. In fact, we just finished a 5-year study from 2019 to 2024 policy years. We looked into all the P&I clubs. We came together and we looked into the navigational incidents under pilotage. And why under pilotage? Because the ship is probably at its maximum risk while navigating in the congested waters. And in most of those occasions, pilot is on board. And we do find that integrating pilot into the bridge team is an issue. If we look into other industry statistics, if we look into the EMSA analysis of navigation incidents, and this report was published in 2022, 78 incidents, navigation-related incidents that happen in the EU or EEA waters were associated with human action. Now, human action is defined by EMSA as a complex and dynamic social technical interaction between humans on board, organizations ashores, policies, procedure, and machine. So you can understand it's a very complex dynamic that they are talking about. The Intercargo Bulk Carrier Casualty Report, which was published this year, it looks into all the sort of losses that have happened in the bulk carrier segment. It found out that 7 out of 9 groundings, bulk carrier groundings, were associated with human element, not human factors. They didn't mention human factors. So, there is a consistent theme, if you can relate to. And so basically, when we talk about the safety of navigation, the human factors should not be ignored. Why so? Because on board the environment, on board the ship, the environment is constantly changing. It is dynamic. It is demanding. Sometimes accidents or incidents happen because the people lack familiarization to the risk. Sometimes they are too familiar to the risk, and that's where complacency sets in. But they are underlying causes. It could be related to the human behavior, the circumstances, which could be related. And if you do a proper root cause analysis, you will find out that there is more to any incident than to just look into only the human error part of it. And that's where we need to talk about the human factors. Now, it's a very vast subject. if we go into it, we need to look into the culture. What sort of culture is established on board? Is it too bureaucratic, very heavy on process and policies? And through those process and policies, what does the company is trying to achieve? Is it a compliance culture or a tick box culture? What sort of a culture is implemented on board? Is it autocratic, very authoritarian sort of leadership, or democratic, where people are encouraged to speak out? We also need to look into the communication aspect. Very often I find out that the junior officers, they lack that difference between, the understanding of a difference between being assertive or being aggressive. They are too shy to speak out. So very often when I do crew seminars, I participate in the crew workshops, I often do a kind of a role playing where I kind of encourage the junior officers to challenge the seniors and I tell them that they need to have at least an understanding of 3 levels: ask, suggest, and insist. At first level, ask your senior, and then probably suggest, and then go to another level if it's not being, if their concerns are not being heard, go to the next level of insisting. And then it was previously mentioned as well, any human being, their performance is determined on the physical and mental aspect. So safety is based on this premise. The operational atmosphere on board needs to be cordial, harmonious. The people need to be well rested, and both the physical and mental aspect needs to be looked into. Now, like I said, this is a very deep topic, and I cannot talk about it in just a few minutes. So what we at the UK P&I Club, we are doing about it is that we have partnered with aviation experts, a company called CAE, and we run a program on human factors for our members across all the major key locations around the world annually. So we have one course in Singapore, in Athens, London, America, everywhere. And we run it in partnership with the aviation experts company called CAE. We have recently embarked on an initiative called Learning from Normal Work, because we believe that we should not be waiting for an accident to happen. There is a room for continuous improvement as required by ISM, and that is the initiative that we have recently embarked on, something called Learning from Normal Work. And we are founding partners of an initiative called Together in Safety. This is an industry conglomerate which looked into a number of accidents or incidents and found out that a similar number of accidents or incidents keep on happening. So we have published a golden safety rule. What you see over here is a golden safety rule related to navigation. And with that, I'll finish my presentation and open the floor. Thank you.